What's up everyone? Nate here with Microgreens Farmer, coming to you with an interview today. This is with one of my students, Ryan Peters. He has Good Ground Farm down in Pipe Creek, Texas, and this was a really fun interview. He has a lot of cool information to share about his early successes, what's working best for him, his strategy going forward, and overcoming some of his challenges. He's just a lot of cool stuff in here. So if you guys enjoy this interview, please let me know in the comments. I've done interviews with a bunch of my students now, and I can start uploading more of these things if you guys enjoy them. So I'd love to hear your opinion on that. Here's the interview. Enjoy. Thank you so much for jumping on here and taking the leap to start a microgreens business just to begin with. So I'll just kind of do an interview format and get your whole story. So
Okay.
why don't we just start from the beginning? Can you just introduce yourself? What's the name of your farm, where you're located, and how did you get into this world of growing and selling microgreens? What brought you into this?
Sure. So my name is Ryan Peters, and I run Good Ground Farm, and we are located in Pipe Creek, Texas, which is just northwest of San Antonio. So we're in South Texas. Um, I retired from the Air Force in July is when I was retired of 2018. And before that, I was really searching and seeking what I should do after I retire from the Air Force, the transition. And so I knew that I was supposed to start a farm. I knew I was going to do that. So we bought 10 acres and we took the jump. We got the 10 acres together and we started researching what type of products we could make a profit on and do as a part-time type of business. And I came across searching through YouTube a few different people, and Nate, your YouTube sites came up, and I spent lots of hours watching over and over, just repeating you showing me step by step how to do this, and that was what really made a huge difference. Was just you just showed everybody exactly how to do it, which was really great. So when you offered your course, it was really easy for me to go step by step at my own pace, and most if not all questions were answered. Even in the forums, I could find everything I needed. Any questions I had were answered, and it was all provided from your product. So thank you so much, first of all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's basically how we got to where we're at right now. We took a big jump, and really it was tough for me because I didn't know how to do farmers markets or anything like that. So watching your videos of like your inspiration videos, like, encouraging, was a huge help as well. And so we just went for it. We started going to a farmers market, and the first time we were there, we just about sold out of all of our product. And from that point, it was just like a firestorm from there. Just keep going, and keep going. And we've built up a really cool customer base now. The majority of our customers are subscribers. So we deliver. Actually, after this video, I'm going out to make my deliveries.
Awesome.
And then we also do a farmer's market in the town next to us. And now I'm actually going into the restaurants. So things are really picking up. And the cool part about it is I'm able to do this all on a part-time basis. So I have my retirement from the Air Force, and then I can supplement that with Microgreens Business, doing something that I'm passionate about.
Yep. Awesome. And you said the farmers market in the town next to you, is that like a bigger town than yours? Is that why you guys go there? Or?
Yeah, so the town that we are, I guess our address is attached to, because we live way out in the country, is Pipe Creek. Pipe Creek is basically a car wash, a post office, and a Dollar General. There's not much else there. That's it. The town that's down from us, it's about maybe 20 miles away. That's a bigger town. That's Bernie. That's what they call Bernie, Texas, and that's where we have the farmers market.
Are you by any large cities or?
Yes, so we're about 40 minutes away from San Antonio. So we have about 2 million people about half an hour, 40 minutes away. So that's another one where people are drawn out here for farmers markets from the big city.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you think you'll penetrate that market in the city at some point? Is that where you're going after for your restaurant sales?
Yes, sir. That's where we're going. They have a very large farmers market that's very very successful, and it's in the heart of San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I want to try to bring my products down there. So
I've heard that's really cool downtown with the river walk and everything. I've never been there, but I've
it's
heard
beautiful. The farmers market is called the Pearl Farmers Market, and that's a really great farmers market to go check out if you have a chance to come down here.
Do you think you'll sell at that market too at some point?
I would like to. I want to. I want to make sure that I go nice and baby steps, slow. I don't want to jump too fast, just like you talk about.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think maybe a goal would be to get into restaurants is more of what I want to try to do, and maybe get into that farmer's market as well. I think those will go hand in hand.
Yep. Awesome. I noticed when you mentioned how you got into this thing, you said that when you were retiring from the armed forces that you knew you were going to farm. You said, I knew we were going to farm. What's that all about? How did you know you were going to farm?
All right. Well, the way I knew I was going to farm was this. I'm a Christian, and I prayed for many years about what the transition would look like after I left the Air Force, because that's all I've ever known. From when I was 19 years old until 39 years old, I had structure. This is what my career path is supposed to look like. This is what we're going to do. This is how you do it. And after that is a huge question mark. No, I didn't know what to do, and no one told me what to do. So I prayed, and I sought the Lord's face, and honestly, it was just like clear, so clear, start a farm. And it's so funny because I've never lived on a farm. I've never done any of this stuff before. So I just said, okay. And I started researching, and we bought 10 acres out here, and we have a climate controlled grow room that we grow all of our microgreens in. So we do this year round, and we just went for it. And that's how I knew I needed to do this.
Wow. Did the message of microgreens come through, or is that later on?
No, actually, no. It just was the farm.
Yeah.
So we also have like 39 chickens that lay all of our eggs. We have raspberries, blackberries. We have apple trees. We have a huge garden, and microgreen is by far the most profitable product that we have.
Microgreens by far the most profitable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Are you guys selling a lot of different produce too besides the microgreens, or?
A lot of the produce that we have, we keep and we use for ourselves. Anything that's extra, I'll add to the side of our farmers market table, and that usually sells every time as well.
Yeah.
But I want to try to make sure that I'm focused on what my product line is. So I'm mainly at the farmers market. I have just microgreens, and making sure that this is, very obvious and deliberate. Microgreens is what we sell. If we do by chance have like extra tomatoes or eggplant or okra, that'll be off to the side. But microgreens is the main draw. We have people come from the farmer at the farmers market. I watch them park in the parking lot, and they come right to my booth. They buy all their product and they take off from there. They don't look anywhere else. They're specifically for microgreens, which is really inspiring and encouraging.
Yeah, I think I saw in your videos you have it pretty prominently displayed microgreens on your sign, don't you? Real big.
Yes, yeah, and that's another thing that I got from your videos. Actually, I think it was a video when you were at a farmer's market. I think you were on your bike actually, and you were talking about signage.
Yeah.
Make sure that they know exactly what you're selling. So I was like, all right, let's get the biggest sign I can that just says microgreens.
Yep,
So
yep.
it works too, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. We have three signs. So we have one that's just microgreens huge. We have one that's microgreens and salad mix, and one that's microgreens salad mix and flowers. So if we don't have much flowers or much salad mix, we do the big microgreens. And if
Oh,
we don't,
okay,
if
cool.
we have a lot of salad mix and microgreens, we'll do both. And if we have a lot of flowers, we'll do all three. But it's that important to us to make it stand out what we have for the customer, that we have those different signs, for the different,
Yeah,
to really display it. It's super important, and it's
yes, sir.
great. It's huge on your sign, microgreens. It looks awesome.
Yeah, and we get everything from our UPS store as well. So they
Yeah.
create everything.
So
Actually, here it is right here. Here's your label. All I did was
awesome.
I changed out hugs and put Good Ground Farm.
Yep. So that's with the course, you can upgrade and get the labeling package, or I think it just comes for free depending on which webinar you went through, and it's
Hmm.
got a bunch of different labels. And I'm getting ready to redo that branding package, so it'll come with labels for every variety for the
All
cheap
right.
pre-made. Yeah, and you guys will all get that update. So will you just explain a little bit what you started doing with the microgreens? What varieties did you start growing, and what your setup? How did you build your setup?
Sure. All right. The varieties, first of all, that we sell right now, we sell the bread and butter. So it's the 50-50 mix, sunflower shoots and pea shoots. I use done peas. Seem to be the ones that everyone loves. So we do peas, sunflower shoots, and we also do radish. And then we do the mixes of bread and butter. And we also do a spicy salad mix, which is half radish, the daikon radish, and the spicy salad mix that you get from True Leaf.
Yeah.
Um, those are the varieties that we have right now. I've also done the smaller, like sample packs of basil, and I'll sell those for a little bit higher price, but in a smaller package. And some people really are looking for that. They want to have something that they can cook with, so we do basil once in a while. And then we are also introducing a new one is the basic salad mix. Because I noticed that about 50% of the people said that they didn't want anything spicy, but they were looking for that salad mix. That was the first one they picked up, but they saw the word spicy, and then they said, oh, no, I can't have that. So we're going to start a basic salad mix as well. And that one seems to be, I think it's going to be a winner because a lot of people have already asked for it, and we're just starting it right now. It's our first planting of it a couple of days ago. So those are the varieties. We do just two different sizes. We do the large one, just like the one you have here, and then we also do the medium, is what we call a medium right here. And those are the two sizes that we sell. These are the larger ones are for deliveries, of course. And then the mediums and the larges are what we sell at the farmer's market. My setup, we have a 14-foot by 14-foot grow room that we built in our barn. And it is completely insulated. It's all sealed. It has the big metal racks that you can get from Home Depot. They're 4 foot wide. And then we put the lights in there. So shop lights basically. And I think it's 6,500 kelvins.
Yeah.
It's the right lights for growing. And we have the 10 by 20 trays that are 1 inch high. Those are ones that seem to work best for us. Mm-hmm. And we use just a standard organic potting mix. And water. We bottom water everything. So we have a slotted tray nested inside of an unslotted tray, and we bottom water everything.
Yep. Cool. That's great. And when you take stuff to the farmer's market, I think you said the first time you went, you sold out. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Almost sold out. I think I had maybe like 2 or 3 left.
Okay. Did you bring quite a bit too, or your first time, did you be pretty conservative and just bring a small amount?
Well, I just brought like a standard, I don't know, 5 or 6 of each one of the items that we had. And we had even the smallest, the sample packs you usually have, they're smaller than mediums. We brought smalls, mediums, larges. And I think we only brought maybe 1 large and 1 medium home from there. And I think I'd have to look. I think you have the actual sheet. I sent it to you. I think it was $250 of sales is what we made that first day.
Wow.
And it was,
What did
that
you
was the,
think?
that was the most amazing thing. I could not believe it. It was just in awe. I was like, wow, the
Yeah.
amount of people. I thought people would walk by, see this giant green sign and say microgreens. What was that? And a lot of people did. We have a lot of education to do down here. But I didn't know if they would really like it or not. And people just love it. It was really inspiring.
Why do you think you sold so many that first time? Was there already a demand for microgreens for some reason? Did people already know about them, or was it just intriguing, or what?
I think the draw was that they weren't sure exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And that got them closer. And the way, you show how to talk to people and how to address them at the farmers market was helpful as well. So we were always standing up and we educated them. We showed them the different varieties. We explained to them what they were. We had the different handouts that you produced. We had those all printed off, ready to go. We put something in their hands, and then we started to explain what a microgreen was. And from that point, it was just an easy sale.
And you talked about the health benefits and stuff?
Oh yeah, all the time, every time.
Yep.
And my
Very
wife, she's
cool.
a freelance writer, so it's very easy to explain everything. She has a way of saying things to people that they can understand it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. So you guys were both, were you there with your family, or was it just you that first time?
No, for the first time, it was my wife, my daughter, and me. So all three of us.
Yeah. So you came home with barely anything, just a pile of cash, and you were super excited to keep going
Oh
on it.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome. And that's what spurred the rest of it. I mean, from that point, we had all the confidence in the world from there to go anywhere we wanted to.
Are you doing the market right now too? Do you guys have a market all winter long?
No, for the farmers market in Bernie, it's 3 months off. So
Okay.
this is kind of like our slow season. But I am still doing all of my subscriptions, and
Yeah.
they all stayed on. No one's ever really quit. I think I've had one person that decided they had to quit for budget reasons, but other than that, every single person has been the same. I do a month-to-month subscription, so there's no real commitment for like 6 months of product. If they don't like it after 1 month, they're free to let me know, and we're finished. Or they can adjust and amend their orders as they see fit for their lives each month.
Can you talk a little bit more about your subscription program, how it's, what the options are, and is it delivery, home delivery,
Sure.
and a little bit about how you're acquiring customers?
Okay. The majority of so for their subscriptions, it's like we go by shares. A share would be one large. So this is one share. And then what we'll do is we put together just a basic sheet that we have with our information sheets at the farmers market, and it goes over all the different varieties, which we've already talked about, and we also deliver bi-weekly or once a month, whichever works best for their lives.
Yep.
And we will deliver right to their door. And we also use the method where if you're not home for delivery, you just keep a cooler out in front, and we'll put an ice pack in there with their order. And people really love that. However, they hardly ever use it, but they just like to know that that's an option.
Yeah.
That's actually a selling point. It works well. We do the biweekly and the monthly, and those are each one share a piece, delivered to your door with all the different varieties.
Yeah.
And it has all of our contact information on our sheet when they want to subscribe. We call it a subscription. And the majority of those subscriptions come from people that are at the farmers market that we meet.
Yeah. And are they signed up through like a PayPal auto billing subscription?
Oh, so we use Square.
Okay.
And they have their card on file. And I text them. Usually texting is the best way to get a hold of everybody immediately. Some people prefer email, that's fine. We email or text them before we charge. We charge at the beginning of the month, the first Monday of the month, we'll charge. And then from that time, That's when their order's locked in. We start growing, and then they'll get their orders the second and fourth Thursday of that month.
Yep. So grown to order, you're reducing your waste down to basically nothing when you're doing that.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And
And they get the first product possible too.
freshest product possible. Yep. How many subscribers do you have now?
Let me take a look here. We have 14 subscribers, and we have a few of them that are getting like 2 shares twice a week. So shares, we're close to about 20 shares a month, I would say, is what we're doing.
Yeah. And you've just been going at this subscription for a couple months now, huh?
We started, the first farmers market we ever did is basically when we started doing everything, and that would be August.
Okay. You've been going at it for a little bit.
Months.
What do you think of the subscription sales so far? Do you like that business model?
Yeah, the subscription is fantastic. That is a constant revenue, which is awesome. That's the best part.
Did you see the interview with Don? Did that inspire you to want to do the subscription too, or?
I think the thing that really turned me on to the subscriptions was the first video I watched that you were in. You actually took your video camera with you as you were making subscriptions.
Yeah, my face is freezing.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah, that's what really turned me on to it, actually.
Yeah, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I think this is a major opportunity for people all over the country. I mean, you live in a small town, and just think if you're in a city, that it's just a massive untapped market of door-to-door delivery. And one thing that I think is really great too is the ability to add on other produce to that. So our Mighty Green subscription, we have, ours is salad mix, other greens, and microgreens during the regular growing season. And in the winter, it becomes just microgreens. But you can also then, when you send your delivery notification emails, you could have add to carts for different vegetables that you have on hand too. So it's a little bit less pressure for a full share CSA or that type of program, because with other crops, it can be challenging, the timing. Mm-hmm. Whereas microgreens, the timing is so easy. Yeah. But it's also low pressure for the customer too. It's not a huge commitment, and it's a way for them to just get the freshest greens every single week in their diet. And people want to do that, but it's just hard for them, they forget. But if you're bringing it to their door, they're motivated to eat it and continue to consume that incredible.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is a very scalable process. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can adjust it month to month. And it's a great way, like you said, to get in and put other value added things to it. We have lots of eggs, and seasonally will be raspberries and blackberries. You can definitely make this into a CSA pretty easily.
Yeah, just throw some add to cart buttons on your delivery notification email, and very cool. And you found the course helpful, the course materials. It seems like you're using a lot of the stuff in there.
Oh, that was a game changer. So all of the information that I actually wrote some things down. So the things I really loved about your product, so the labels were a huge help, and they were easy to adjust and put my Good Ground Farm logo on. Super easy to use. They were already pre-made, so I can get the labels, take them to UPS, and I pay like $2 for like 6 months worth of labels, which is awesome. The cheat sheets were like, the biggest question was, how much do I plant, when to plant, how do I do all of these things? And it's all explained right on those cheat sheets on the portal. So helpful. The video process, I learned by watching others do things, and just the room that you're in right there. And it was just watching everything happen in that little room right there. It was just like, I get it now. Okay, all my questions are answered as I'm watching Nate do all of these processes. So that was very helpful. And then the last one was the inspiring videos. I think there was a video of you in the woods
Yeah.
And we're just talking about how you love microgreens so much, and that anybody can do it. You can do it. That's so helpful. So those are the things that the portal really helps with.
Awesome.
Then the last one is that what is it? The discount sheet for True Leaf. That's awesome too. So thank you very much for doing the legwork and getting the discounts for us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fun to create it, and I'm trying to just keep improving it. And I get some grief actually on my week-long videos because it was an old camera and it's a little shaky at times. And it's real though. It's really
Yeah,
what I'm doing. It's what I'm trying to do is just help people and show them everything.
yeah,
And I skip over a bunch of stuff the first couple of days, and people watch the first couple and say, "Hey, you're not doing anything in these videos." It's because I'm showing that's what you're doing for the first couple of days. There's not much,
right.
and you build it up, and then the whole second week is when it's really going, and there's stuff to do every day, and you're following the schedule. But I'm going to redo all those videos this year. But I'm glad you liked them. Some people love them, and some people are
Oh yeah, they're
confused
great.
by
You don't have to change anything. I love
it.
it.
That's very encouraging. So this is awesome. What has been your biggest struggle, I guess, so far, you think, with microgreens?
Let's see. Biggest struggle. Okay, a couple of things. So making sure I have the correct amount of product for customers. Sometimes, and it depends on the germination rates a lot of the time. It's just getting used to the amount that you need and the amount that you plant. That way you're not wasting too much, or you don't have enough. That was one of the kind of the learning curves. Another struggle would be restaurants. Restaurants are a lot more difficult to get into than I thought it would be. For some reason, I don't know why. I think I'm doing everything right, but the chefs and people, they don't seem to want to use microgreens as much as I thought they would. For the people, my customer base, that there's so many people that love microgreens, but none of the chefs, every time it's either, well, you have to talk to corporate, which is always an answer, or if it's a smaller place, I don't want to change my menus or my recipes, or I don't know what I would do with it because they don't know what they are. So it's education as well. So I think the biggest struggle would be getting into a restaurant, which I thought would be the easiest.
Yeah, is that mostly how are you hitting the San Antonio market right now, or is that mostly stuff around you guys?
So I've done a little bit of both. The ones down in San Antonio, the ones that are around the Pearl Farmers Market, there's a lot of I guess you call them like hipster, vegan, organic type restaurants, right? And every time, no, I don't want to use microgreens. I don't understand it. Weird.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm gonna do, because that was just phone calls. So I made phone calls, explain what we do here, my processes. It's all organic, non-GMO. And they're like, no, no thanks. So I think what I'm gonna end up having to do is I'm just gonna have to go down there and visit in an afternoon, like after the lunch rush is over, or maybe on an off day, and just bring them some samples and say, here you go, these are free. Have a nice day, and just see what happens.
Yep. These are free. Experiment around, play around with them. Once they have them and they taste them and they see how fresh they are and how long they last. It's actually, you were talking about, you were saying that, it's a little discouraging because you're getting a lot of no's talking to them, but it's also it's also a really good thing because that means that they're not already with another producer. And at some point, there's more demand in the public, that demand's going to come into the restaurant scene more, I think. And that's really encouraging that they don't already have a supplier and you've already made contact with them. So you've got a good position as they open up to it. And I think when you're bringing them samples, they'll start to open up more. They'll see you're trustworthy, you're serious about it. Yeah. And once they place that first order, to give it a try, and then they're hooked. I think it's actually a pretty good position you're in. Mm-hmm. And persistence is big in the restaurant scene. You really have to be persistent. keep showing up. They're so dang busy. They feel crazy sometimes, and then sometimes they feel inspired and ready to try new stuff. So it's all about just keep showing up and show that you can be consistent.
All
Very
right. Well,
cool.
thanks.
So just a couple more questions here. What would you want to say to people who are considering starting a microgreens business, but they have doubts like, will it work? Can I do it? Just a ton of people coming through my YouTube channel and my website now that they really want to do this, but they just have fear and doubts, and they're worried that it's not going to work for them. What would you say to those people?
All right. Yeah. So I was in their same shoes. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to turn a profit or even sell anything. And I would say that if I can do it, you can do it. I started super small, just a very small amount of seeds, a couple of trays, and one shop light. That was it. And I started to grow microgreens, and I talk about it. That's free. You just talk, and
Yeah.
you don't have to make a humongous investment. You don't have to have a huge facility. I started our microgreens business in my house. I had 4 flats, 4 10 by 20 flats, and I just gave people everything for free and showed them what it was. And before I knew it, I had a couple of customers, and it got a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and I was selling out at farmers markets. Start small
Yeah.
and believe in yourself and believe in your product.
Yeah.
You do it.
That's great advice. Start small and just go for it. Just give it a try. You don't need to invest a lot of time or a lot of money. Just take it one step at a time, scale up slowly.
Yeah.
Buy my course, all that good stuff.
Oh, yes. One more thing.
Yeah.
That was after I had a little bit of revenue from watching your YouTube videos, buying the course was a big jump for us. It took us, a few months of praying and saving, and we decided, you know what, if we're going to do it, let's do it right. So we invested in your course, and that is when everything got much easier, and it scaled up considerably. And that's when we started to become a real viable business and able to expand our customer base, and really make some big jumps. So start small, and when you have the opportunity, invest into that, into the portal, and that's going to be a huge game changer for you.
Yep. Awesome. And you've already talked a bit about what's coming up for this year ahead. You're going to try and go more into the restaurant market, break into San Antonio scene. Anything else you got coming on for 2019?
2019, we're going to have a couple of events. I have events out on my farm for all of my customers and friends, and we're going to be increasing our raspberries and blackberries. That's going to be a big one this year. We're going to be going out to another city besides San Antonio, maybe expanding our farmers market into 2 different markets. And then from there, as we're doing that, I'm going to continuously, just as like a machine, go into those restaurants over and over. And then hopefully we can get a few more restaurants under our belt. And that's going to be, I think, a big game changer.
Awesome, man. So excited to have you on here today to talk all about this stuff. Do you have is that a shirt of your farm you have on right there?
Oh, yeah. Yep. There it is. I got that from one of my customers.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for jumping on here today and sharing your experience of the course and starting a microgreens business. I think it's very inspiring to people to see what you can do, just taking it one step at a time, doing this as your part-time retirement project. And it's just, you're having a lot of fun with it. I can tell. You're excited, and it's a pretty fun business. And the amazing thing about it too is you're really helping people. It's a product that
is contributing to people's health. It's food. It's something everyone needs. It's something you can feel good about. So congratulations on the work you're doing and on all your success. And thanks for trusting me to help you out as you got started. And I look forward to staying in touch and following your progress.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. And I couldn't have done it without the resources that you provided. So thank you so much for putting in the time and really believing in others. So thank you very much.
Right on. All right, Ryan Peters, Good Ground Farm down in Texas. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, sir. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
As always, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mom, all that good stuff. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.